Over the last year, the East Van Workers' Assembly has followed CUPW's struggle closely. Canada Post, like many employers, have been attempting to roll back the hard-fought gains the workers' movement has made over the past 200 years. For decades, the capitalist class has been slowly turning up the heat on workers in the hopes that we won't notice until it's too late. But we have noticed. We know that Canada Post is attempting to roll back your benefits. We know that Canada Post is trying to impose poverty wages on you. We know that Canada Post cares nothing for your health and well-being. We know that Canada Post is trying to replace you with gig workers. And we know that Canada Post believes gig workers will be easier to exploit because of their unstable position. We know these concerns are shared by workers across the country in every major industry. We also know our federal and provincial governments will do nothing to stop the bosses. Canada's Liberal government willingly serves the interests of the rich and powerful, the monopoly capitalist class, using Section 107 of the Canadian Labour Code as a new anti-democratic weapon to force us back to work. Last year alone, they crushed major strikes by port workers, railroaders, and posties, colluding with the bosses each and every time. The ruling class wants to strip us of the right to strike because they know it is the most powerful and most fundamental weapon workers have in the face of exploitation. When CUPW was ordered back to work in December, the East Van Workers' Assembly, alongside unions and community groups, launched community picket lines to prevent production from continuing at the Pacific Processing Centre and the East Hastings Canada Post Depot. The community picket lines were an important step towards re-establishing the methods of struggle that will defend our rights and advance our interests as working class people. The working class, unionized and non-unionized alike, are waking up to the fact that we don't matter to our employers. If they could pay us nothing, they would. The rights we have as workers haven't come through the cooperation with bosses or from the fruits of capitalism, but through class struggle. We do all the real work. While executives like Doug Ettinger make $500,000 annually to sit in boardrooms and come up with new ways to strangle postal workers. Enough is enough. It's time for us to revive the militant class struggle that won us the right to organize, the right to strike, paid maternity leave, and every other advance the working class has achieved. We are not frogs waiting to be boiled to death. We must remind those in power that we do all the work. They only exist because the working class wakes up at 5 a.m. to trudge through the snow and the rain to jobs that don't pay us enough to live. They will leave us out in the cold if we allow them to. The time where we ask the capitalist class for concessions has long since passed. The East Van Workers' Assembly is once again ready to stand side by side with CUPW as you fight for what is rightfully yours, and this can't just be us in CUPW. Unions must unite and forge a combative workers' movement if we hope to defend CUPW against these attacks, defeat our common class enemy, and gain real political and economic power. Their fear is that if one of us stands up, we will all stand up. It's time we make this fear a reality. If the bosses and the government want us to go back 100 years in their repression methods, the labor movement will go back to its roots. We will go back to the methods of struggle we had when we built the workers' movement. We will return to class struggle unions. And if the bosses and the government want to use strike-breaking legislation to tie our hands behind our backs, the East Van Workers' Assembly will take a leading role in unbinding the working class. So organize your co-workers, mobilize your unions, unite the workers' movement, and join us. Thank you.